Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Tuesday. I want to give just a minute for it to be able to populate and to allow the software to be able to connect with Instagram. Um, I hope y'all are doing okay. I know it's like we're coming into what we would call like pre-fall. It's so great. I don't know about y'all, but this morning we were outside very early playing pickleball, and it was just a gorgeous 82 degrees. I thought I could totally get used to this. Do y'all feel the same way? So I'm excited. I want to show you something today. I think it's good to be able to show the versatility of our stencils and what it is we do with so many other products here at a maker studio. But something that I want you to kind of think about, whether you go shopping around your home to look for projects that you can do, or maybe you're making some gifts for someone. I'll be quite honest with you. Part of the impetus today, as far as what I'm going to be showing you, is I have someone that is moving. I have two friends that are moving into new homes. And I want to be able to make them things that they felt like that I put a little extra attention to. One of the things that I have realized over the years, so many of us have so many things, but when we make something for someone and it has a little bit of our heart attached with it as a gift, and when we give it to them, it means so much more. Would y'all agree? Are you not the same way when you receive a gift if you know that somebody put the extra time and attention into customizing it for you? And so I have a friend that moved from Memphis down to Santa Rosa Beach and trying to put together like her laundry room and her bathroom and sweet little things in her kitchen that I went to Target. Who doesn't love going to Target or Target? And so I'm looking for different things that are one, inexpensive, and two, that have a surface that I could take and make something extra special out of it. So that's what I'm going to be showing you how I did today. And be honest with you, I'm really quite excited. I want to show you. And so as you pop on here, say, hey, tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm curious what the weather is like for you in your neck of the woods today. And also remember, anytime if you catch me live, for the next 4 days, we'll be sharing. You'll have an opportunity to share this video, tag some good friends that you know love crafting a beautiful life too, and your name goes in for drawing. So we give away product every week when I do these lives. And so the other thing that you can take advantage of when I do the lives and you hear it or you see it just a little bit later, maybe if I've even already signed off, there's a code that you can type in. And today's code is French, all caps, FRENCH, French 20, because a lot of the things that I'm going to be doing today have some French inspiration. So I can't help it. I'm blind as a bat if I don't have my glasses on. I can't see this fine print, and I want to see y'all's names. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Sarah. All right. So as you pop on here, tell me hi. I go back and I look at these. I make the comments myself. I love being able to see who all's on here. And of course, Team Amy Howard at home is also there as far as being able to help me with the ticket. So I want to show you some of the things that I did. And here's the other thing. We've got the holidays coming up. So we can be thinking about now, depending on who we make gifts for, something that we may use in our own home. That's kind of the impetus for me. Are y'all the same way? And so I will come up with an idea for something. I want to make it for myself. And then I'm like, that would be a great gift. I'm going to give that to so and so. So, all right. So, hey, Nancy. Hey, Ms. Cove. I'm wondering, is Ms. Cove, are you a teacher of somehow? All right. So, as you pop on here, please tell me hello. Share this video. Tag some good friends. That way your name will go in for a drawing because we're going to be giving away stuff. Hey, Vicki. And but take advantage of the French 20. Now we'll show you. This is the stencil today that I'm going to be working with. I love this stencil. Part of the reason why it gives me so much versatility. Look at this. I love the fonts. I love the sayings. I love the Bon Appetit. And look at this. And I love the fact, and this is called Frames and Phrases. And I think when you first look at it, you go, okay, that's not that great, but let me show you. There's so many cute, fun projects that I have done with this. So I'm going to hold up some of them, and then I'm going to walk you through actually executing some of them. Now, I don't know with my sister company if you've seen, but I have a product called Lux Lacquer. And this particular glass, I taped it off and I did the Lux Lacquer on the bottom of it. I think it's so cool to be able to have a half painted, half glass. And look at that. I came on the edge of it and I did the Bon Appetit. Can you see that? Is that the most cutest thing you've ever seen? That's not really correct English. Is that the cutest thing you've ever seen? So I want you to think about when you've got glasses, one of the places that I love going to that you can get a lot of great buys is Target, but also estate sales for glasses as well as Goodwill. So I love this. I wanted you to see. So basically it's very simple. I painted the glass, tape it off so you've got a nice clean edge. And then that way you can do it in pops of color. How fun would it be? You can do this on plasticware too. So if you want to have it out by the pool, on your deck, and you want to do it in bright pops of color, like behind me, like orange and pink and green, you could do them in different colors so that people can use them. But I want you to be able to see how you can use it and do the wording on it. And that way everybody has a different word or a different name or a different saying and allows them to be able to know, well, you've got my glass. I need that back. All right. So I wanted to show you that more for inspiration. I thought that was a lot of fun. Now I want to be able to show you, remember last week or week before, I was showing you how to make, using our eco powder. You can go back and you can watch that live. How I was showing you how to make these gorgeous trays. Now, yeah, I do think this was a few weeks ago, but what I wanted to show you is how to be able to customize it. Look at this. So when I know we love making signs, we love making pieces of art and that type thing, but I want you to think about things that you have in your home, or maybe things that we're making like this, or things that we want to make into gifts, how being able to add just a little custom element to it really elevates it and takes it to a whole new level. So I'm going to show you how to do this in just a minute. Now, look at this. When I was at Target, I bought some coasters. Now, when you see just plain blank coasters like this, they're not very exciting. But watch this. Look at this. Now, if you think about trying to do gifts, here's the before, here's the before, here's the after. It really elevates it to a whole new look. And so if you think about being able to get coasters, you can get tiles and be able to customize them. And I love adding a little bit of leaf. I'm going to show you how I did this, that it really makes an elevated coaster that these would make adorable gifts. And you could do different sayings and things around it, but I would gild all of them the same. All right, so I wanted to show you something else I did. Now, I love being able to customize my jars, and I love these jars. I love them in my pantry. Look at this. Can you see? I love them in my pantry, but look at the filigree on that and the detail. Is that not gorgeous? So that way, if you want to make a cookie jar, if you want to be able to make a candy jar, if you want to have your flour, you want to be able to have your sugar and everything in there. So that way you just go and you dump it in a container. How cute is that? So it really takes a very inexpensive, look at that, container, glass container. And I know I love jars. I love jars like this in the laundry room and I love them in the pantry. So I wanted you to be able to see that. So there's so many projects that I've done. Okay, here's another cute one. So if you ever go in the frame department at Target, they have a great frame department. I get frames in there that I'm actually doing my artwork on. It's very inexpensive. So these are really inexpensive. They're like $4. This comes in here, but I want to take this out so you can see it. And they're great if you entertain and you want to be able to have like a menu or your casserole dishes or whatever it is that you're serving. There's a lot of different ways that you can use them. You can customize them even with our borders, our eco powder and glue different little flowers on it. They're so fun. This is just a very inexpensive, great thing to be able to have. And you can get them smaller as well at Target. So, but I wanted to show you a fun project that I did using the stencil. So at the bottom of the stencil where some of the wording is, here's the menu. Look how beautiful it is on here. So here's my idea, is to be able to take a chalk pen, or you can use, you can put different colored paper in here. You can cut black paper and then write on top of it, and then you just wipe it off. So that way, when you have a menu, you want to be able to have it sitting there. So people, when they go up, especially on a buffet, they're like, what is this? What is, well, that's chicken casserole. Okay, I'll eat that. This is green beans. So write a menu and have it up there when you're entertaining. It just makes it a lot of fun. And this is a really inexpensive way to be able to do it. All right, so I'm going to turn this down. As you pop on here, say, hey, I'm going to walk you through how I did some of my projects, and especially when you can see the transformation of going from a very boring before black coaster to a really beautiful, look at that, Parisian inspired afterwards. It's fantastic. So as you pop on those, share this video, tag some good friends, your name goes in for a drawing, and then that way we're going to be giving away free product. But take advantage of today. All of the products that I'm working with, the stencil, the inks, and the etching cream are all going to be 20% off. And all you have to do is type in your code when you check out. French, all caps, 20, French 20. All right, so I'm going to turn this down so that way you can see what it is that I'm doing. I wanted you to see, I got so excited the other day. I was in a little antique shop down the street, and they had all these tiny little charcuterie boards. Y'all, anybody that knows me knows I love charcuterie boards, but they were all little bread boards. They're French. And I thought, how cute would it be to be able to get these, to be able to add, and it makes it so cute. So I could take one of these small charcuterie boards very easily, and you could come in, and I think it's really sweet, like even the Bon Appetit. I want you to, let's just do that real quick. It's not going to take but just a second. So that way, I don't know if you've seen this, but a lot of people are now doing charcuterie stations. So when they entertain, they'll give people little boards and they can do it themselves. Now, I will tell you, as a rule, if I'm wanting to be able to do one of my charcuterie boards and I don't want it to be permanent, I can use chalk art, or I'm okay with using the ink, because that way, if after they leave, I'm okay with being able to just put it in the sink and I can wash it out. So I want to be able to show you, I'm going to take just a little bit of my Can't Never Could ink. And I'm just using a brush because this goes on here fairly quickly. And I want you to see, taking very simple things that we have in our home and elevating them to where it makes it look really special. So I don't know if you can see this as far as the Bon Appetit. Here we've got just a plain one. And then now see how much more elevated that makes it, just being able to add that. I think it's so cute. All right, so now I want to show you when I did my tray, look at the difference. Here's a plain tray. I showed you how to do this just a few weeks ago. This is a larger and a smaller. I love this. I think this is absolutely so chic. I think if you want to go back and watch the YouTube video that I did, or it may even be on a Maker Studio and as well as the Facebook Live, but this was the Eco Powder Terrazzo tray. We should have them still on the website. And you can see just a little bit of the specks in here of that gray. And I thought, you know what I should do? Instead of just having just a plain tray, to really elevate it and make it up where it looks much more like it came out of a very high-end boutique. So look at the oval shape of it. All it is very complimentary, and that's why I love the stencil so much, because it allows you to be able to take ordinary items in your home and really elevate them. So what I did, I've got one that I had done here in a little bit of a gray color, and I just want to show you. I've used this several times. And if you're not familiar with the Maker Studio, one, our mesh stencils have so much detail to them, you can't get it with a Cricut. It's not possible. But it's also adhesive, so it will stick. You can take it up, you can reposition it, you can use it on paper. On this, I'm using it on my product, my tray that I made with my Eco Powder. So I'm just sticking that back down on here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Blowing Up a Storm. This is kind of a gray color. It's really pretty. About when you're creating something like this, it's about making it a little bit more subdued. You don't want to go black. So see how this really dark gray complements this so pretty. I think it makes it look very elegant, very chic. And again, it looks great if you want to be able to set your soap dish, your soap container, and that type of thing on there, which is what I do. All right, so I'm going to squeeze out just a little bit of my Blowing Up a Storm. You can use a brush, you can use a spreader. If I'm working on small surfaces like this that I want to be able to get down in here and I don't have a lot of room, a lot of times I'll just use a brush. Guys, as you pop on here, please tell me hello, where you're tuning in from. And I'm curious, I was sharing, Jean and I were playing pickleball earlier this morning. Yes, we're addicted to pickleball, but I guess that's a good thing to be addicted to. And it was a gorgeous 82 degrees. It was absolutely fabulous. All right, so now I just want to make sure that I went over that really well. I'm going to pull the edge of this up. And look at that. I've got a gorgeous, look at that. Is that not darling? Can you see? So now I just want to show you a lot of people. I'm going to let that dry a minute because I want to be able to do something in between. When you're cleaning your stencils, you can have a little Tupperware container next to you when you're working on them. And I'm just going to take a paper towel and I'll immerse it down in water, just like this. And I can clean it off with my fingers like this. It cleans very easily. Now, if I'm working with other paints, I do want to make sure that I get that paint out fairly quickly. So now the other side is my adhesive side, and I'm going to lay it up where you can see the sheen is a little bit different. The sticky side up. I'm just going to lay this on my counter and I'm going to let it air dry. Then I'm going to put it back on the paper that it came in the container, and it just helps protect it. And that way it's going to be ready for me to use over and over and over again. I think when we talk about making really chic looking gifts for the holidays, I think these trays would be a great gift to make. All right, so now what I did is I laid my frame down and I need to finish it off. I don't want to leave it plain like that. I need to be able to have some words down in there. Hey, Ruth. Hey, Julie. Hey, Flourish. Hey, Dina. As you pop on here, say hey. All right, so now I want to show you on this particular frames and phrases. Look how they're made to be able to fit in these really ornate, very French, you could say Victorian frames because they're so great. I think it really takes it to a new level. So I've cut this and I'm just going to sit it down inside my frame. I'm going to take now if you wanted to, you could make the lettering black. I tell you what, let's have a little fun. I'm going to go on and take some paper. Let's darken it just a little bit. We have I'll just take this paper. So let's take a little bit of the black, not much. And then I am working with Blowing Up a Storm. And again, take advantage. Today, these are 20% off. The etching cream is going to be 20% off. The gilding supplies, your inks, and your stencils. So that's going to make it a lot more fun. All right, so now I'm just going to take my brush. I'm going to spread this out, and I'm going to take a little bit of black. I just want to darken it just a little bit, not a lot. So that way it's not the same color as the frame. That's going to add a little bit more depth, a little bit more dimension. So I want you to see. So here's the color that I've mixed. Let's take that out so that way you can see. So see how it's just a little bit darker, not a lot. That's going to add a little bit more depth to it. And I want you to remember that, especially when you're doing a frame, do your frame in the lighter color, and then do your words that you put inside your frames in a lighter color. Does that make sense? So we're going to go a little bit darker on our words and lighter on our frames. All right, so now I'm ready. I'm going to come in here. Make that just a little darker. And again, I have my spreader that I work with a lot, but when I'm working in really tight areas like this, I find that doing the stencils with my brush is better. One thing you need to make sure that you do work quickly. This is not something that we want to just really belabor on. It's like get it on here, do it quickly, and that way it won't dry into the stencil. And I do want to have a little bit of pressure there. I'm going to make sure. Can you see that? Does that help just a little bit better? All right. I want you to be able to see. Again, you can get the mold that I'm working on in the Eco Powder and make these from scratch and then come back and do everything that I'm doing. I think that would make a fabulous gift. Love that. So, so pretty. So French. That's why we're calling today our French 20. Look at that. See how pretty? I love that. The filigree. I think it really, now this one was a little bit lighter. I did it in a real pale gray. Isn't that elegant? That way you can put your soap cans, my dispenser in here. I have my little scrub brush, and I have this in my kitchen, and I also have this in my bathroom because I go and I put my rings and my earrings off in it every night. Now I want to show you. This is the coaster that I was sharing with you that I bought. There was a pack of 4 at Target. And I thought, okay, well, this isn't real exciting. It's not like that. I'm going to write home about that. But I needed a surface. And so you may have some in your own home and you're like, I love that idea. So basically, I want to show you just the simple elegance. I think that's important when we're doing projects. And it's important about not to go overboard, but just a simple elegance of something can really make it so understated and so beautiful. So let me show you how I do this. So I'm taking the Paris right here off of our stencil. I love this. I love these fonts. I think it's so fabulous. And I've used it over and over again. So I just wanted to make sure that I'm pressing this down in here so that way it's adhering nicely. And I'm going to come back. Now I need to go back with my light gray. So I'm going to clean my brush out. Guys, as you pop on here, tell me hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from, and be sure and share this video so your name goes in for a drawing. We're going to be giving away free product, but take advantage of the French 20 code today. You get everything that I'm showing you 20% off. All right, so again, I'm using Blowing Up a Storm. It's this beautiful gray, and I'm going to come on top of this. Now, you know, I could easily do it in white. White would look just as good. But I was on a kick with this gray. I thought it would be kind of fun because I liked it on my terrazzo tray. Again, I could use my squeegee, and many times I do. But when I'm working on a small surface like this, I'll do this. All right, so now I'm just going to go into that corner. I'm going to pull this up. Look at that. The detail on it, the font on this, look at that. That's so easy and so fun, so satisfying. This would be something great too if you wanted to be able to have your kids help you or your grandkids help you make gifts that you're going to be able to give to people. Especially, you know, because I've got grandkids all ages, that to be able to make gifts with them for their teachers would make it a lot of fun. All right, so now I'm going to show you, I want to be able to elevate it. Now, is this okay? Yes, it's great. But this banding here, it's raised. And again, I got these coasters at Target. And so I'm wanting to take advantage of that to where it will be a really pretty raised element. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gild it. Now, if you haven't gilded before, it's a very simple process. You're going to be working with what's called size, S-I-Z-E. Let me see if I can put this top on so that way you can see it. So size is a special glue that is made strictly for gilding, and it's not used on anything else. So I want to make sure that I use a clean brush for it. And a lot of times when I'm working with the size, I'll dip my brush in it, and then instead of trying to paint it like this, up and down, I turn my hand over like this and I actually roll it along the edge. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Then when you're painting like this, it's kind of hard and it's like your hand has to stay really steady. But if you go on and do your hand on top when you're wanting to put your size on, it's just a lot easier. So watch this. So I'm going to roll it. I just want to make sure, and it's white. When you put the size on, it's white. But as it dries down, it's going to go to a clear, shiny finish. So right before we went live, Jean was nice enough to be able to help me put some size on. So I want you to see the difference. See how it's glossy and shiny? Once it dries down from being white, it's going to go shiny. Now, see the difference? This one doesn't have any size on it. So you've got about 30 minutes to have tack. So when I talk about tack, when you touch it with your finger like this, it should pull the skin on your finger just a little bit. That's going to allow you to be able to lay the leaf down. So now we have the leaf. It comes 25 sheets in a book like this. Now, if you've never gilded before, welcome to my world because you're going to get addicted. It is so much fun. You're going to want to gild everything in sight. So you have 25 sheets. And in between the sheets, they're usually a little bit bigger than this because I've cut it down. There's tissue. So I'm going to pull my tissue apart like this. And I'm going to lay it down on top of my coaster. So now with the whole book, you see I've got a little bit missing over there. I'm not worried about that. So now I'm just going to take a little bit. I'm going to pull it apart. And I'm going to come and lay it here like this. Because I don't need, now I just pulled that off of there. Just filling in my holidays. So I want to be able to just show you. I'm just going to take this very gently. And I'm going to try to burnish that in. And as I do, I'm going to kind of go over that edge so that will start to kind of fall away. And I'm going to do the same thing on the inside. I'm just going to kind of break that seal like that. All right, so now I want to always make sure that I come back with one of our chip brushes so that way I can just clean off the excess like this. And I think you get my drift. So that way you'll have a gorgeous coaster that looks like this. So that you see how adding that gold leaf on that edge really takes it to a whole new level. Now, there is one thing that you need to do. Before you use this for coasters, I would come back with our matte sealer and I would just allow the matte sealer to go over the gold as well as where you put your art. I would paint all of it on. I would just use an artist brush and seal it. That way it's going to help against any type of moisture and it will protect it from not scratching off. So just seal it because with the inks, it's going to make it wear much, much, much nicer. If you wanted to really even take it to the next level, I think it would be pretty just to even put a little wax on there. Could be so, so cute. The wax is going to act as an emollient over your sealer and just make sure to protect it. So I love that. I think that is so, so cute. Anytime you've got a raised element like that, it's really going to take it to a whole new level. All right. So one last thing I want to be able to show you, and it's so easy, and I want you to take advantage of it today with the with things being on marked down as far as your code, the 20%. Can you see that? So I love this. This is something that I am working on as my gift for this my friend that has moved into her new home in Memphis. And I'm going to be doing this in the laundry room. But how fun is it if you think about having in your pantry your major powder, your sugar, your flour, all the things that you use on a daily basis. I love being able to get it in large containers and I just come home and I dump it. We're like that with our monk fruit. and lily chips and things that we use on a regular basis. These is such a fun idea, but elevate it. So these jars you can get for about $9 or $10. Sometimes you can get them at Goodwill. But to be quite honest with you, like this in just a plain form, they're not that exciting. So let's elevate it. And there's nothing more fun or easy or satisfying than to be able to etch it. So I loved this frame. Again, I am working with the Frames and Phrases stencil today. I absolutely love it. I'm going to go on and cut this out. And I just think on this plain glass jar, and you could do them a lot of different ways, but I just thought this one was fantastic. So I'm going to go on and take that apart. Again, it's adhesive. Uh-oh, I've got gold leaf on my hand, and look what's happening. It's sticking. Uh-oh, that's not good. All right, so I'm trying to get that off. I'll have to clean that. Should have cleaned my hands. One thing I want you to do, make sure that you save the paper that we took it off of and put it back in the little envelope, the pouch. That just helps with keeping this all good. Hey, Tracy, I know etching is so satisfying, isn't it? All right, so I'm just making sure that I balance it between here on the jar and the bottom. You don't want to do it from the top. We're going to be working with just the base. And you'd think because it was a curved surface, it would be difficult, but it's not. It goes on very, very easily. So now I'm going to take got an artist brush all clean and ready to go for my etching. So you're going to be working with the Maker Studio etching cream. And this is so easy. Now, we talk about a lot of times less is more. And this is not the case for that. More is better because we're wanting to load up the etching cream. So I'm just going to pull this out of here with my brush. And as you see, what I'm doing is I'm agitating it. I'm going back and forth. I'm wanting to make sure that I am pressing this through my stencil because where this is exposed is actually where this etching cream is going to etch it. And here's the other great thing about etching. It's permanent. It's never going to wash off. You're not going to put it in the dishwasher and it go away. So that way you could take even some of the sayings like I was showing you earlier that I did with painting the Luxe lacquer and doing it on top. I could have done an etched design on the top of it. It would be so cute. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So on my glass like this, I love taking the Luxe lacquer and painting the base. I just taped this off and painted the base. I think it's so cute. Now, now I'm going to have to do this. So let's say from here up, we etch it in a design. I mean, hello, is that not like, do y'all not love that idea? I'm going to have to do it now to be able to show you. I love that idea. So that way, anything above where the glass, of course, if you etch down here, it's not going to work. But if we just did our line in our stencil and then we came up and etched it, hello, I've got to do that. I think that's the best idea. All right, so somebody else do it and share on our Facebook group and I'll do it with you. All right, so now I'm just wanting to make sure I finish this out. As a rule, when I'm etching, I try to make sure that I leave this on here about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. It's not a thing that I want you to leave it on and go, okay, well, if 3 minutes is good, I'm going to leave it on 8. Don't do that. It's important to keep the time and not overload it too much. So now I'm starting to clean this up a little bit. And I'm going to just take it from the corner. And I'm going to lift that. Now, I see a boo-boo, and that's okay. I'm not going to stress over it because I can tell I got a little bit of etching cream right there. So I'm going to try to see if I can remove it really quick before it etches. Now, when you get finished and you take your stencil away and you see this is etching cream. What's going to happen when you wash it, it's going to go away and then it's going to reappear. So don't freak out on me and say, I can't see it anymore. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I feel pretty good that this is sat on here long enough that I'm going to be able to be successful with it. And I'm going to take a little bit of a paper towel. And I'm going to dip it in my water. So you could put this in the sink if you want to. And then I'm going to start to wipe away my etching cream with my rag. Now you see what I'm saying? It disappears, but hang with me. And it's like magic. Once you start to dry that off, your design is back. Can you see it? So pretty. Now, what I love is being able to now put a saying inside of this. So this is something that I thought, because I'm making a gift, because I wanted to go into her pantry, seasoned with love. Isn't that fun? Kind of deals with cooking. So I'm going to take this out. Again, this is our phases, frames and phrases stencil. Love it. It's very French. There's so many cute projects that you can do with this one stencil. I love it. Everything that I'm doing today is with this. So now I'm going to place this phrase inside of my frame, just like this. It's okay to overlap onto some that I've already done, because I'm just wanting to make sure that I get the words seasoned with love in here. So now I'm going to come back with my brush again. I take my etching cream. Then I'm just going to focus on my words. It's only going to get on the area where it has the clear cut out in the mesh. You're going to love the fonts on the stencil too. I think they're so high end, they're so chic. And it's not about having too much on something. I think there's something about, when we say about crafting a beautiful life, it's understated elegance. That it looks like something that we would have bought at a really high end boutique shop. All right, so I need to let that sit on there just a minute. Again, when you've got your etching cream on, you've got two different options. You can put the etching cream on like this and leave it on, or you can go on, if you're worried about it seeping through your stencil, you can go on and lift it. Just let it stay there. And then after it has, you can look at the clock and kind of watch it and say, okay, it's been 5 minutes. I can go in and wash it off. Can you see? Love it. It's so chic. I'm just going to tell you, we've just taken a $9 or $10 glass jar. This is a gallon. I mean, it's a fairly large jar. We've taken a $9 or $10 jar and we've made it into a $35 or $40 jar. I mean, this, I think, really elevates it. If it was in a really high-end boutique shop, it would be selling for a lot more. So now, once I wipe that off, I need to make sure that I come back and dry it. You can pop this in the dishwasher. Now it starts to come back. Look at that. Look at that. So now you see how cute it is to be able to come back, and I've got my powdered sugar in my container that it's going to look so cute to be able to line up in my pantry, my laundry room. There's so many cute areas that I can do that. So it's been the crafting marathon. So you think, we've got to do this. Do y'all love that idea? We have got to do this. You can do the Lux lacquer on the glass. I love how shiny it is. You can do it on light fixtures. You can do it on so many things. But I think we totally need to etch in a pattern from here up. Would be divine. So divine. So take advantage of being able to create all these amazing projects that I showed you today with our phrases and frames stencil. Take advantage of the discount on the etching cream, our inks, and then that way you can start creating really sophisticated things. One, it might be gifts that you give away, or maybe it's just about making your home more beautiful. I love that. Share this video, tag some good friends. Your name will go on for a drawing. We're going to be giving away stuff to the lucky winner. And then that way, take advantage of the discount code today, all caps French 20. Have a great day, everybody. Love you guys. Bye.